I got money on my mind, oh, yeah. I get back at the bag, oh, yeah.
Hey cousins, so welcome back to Sincerely Ramis. Before we get into this video, please make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you can get a notification every time I post a new video. I am going to talk about my dating experience since I have been in Houston. So these are people that I either met on Tinder, in person, met through a friend, or something like that. And I'm just going to share my experience with them. I'm going to, share as much as I can. But these are just a few people that I've met and that show some type of romantic interest. And just so we're clear, I'm still single, so there's no like beautiful happy ending with any of these people as of now. But I just wanted to share my dating experience because people have been asking me, like, are you still single? Are you seeing anyone? Blah, blah, blah. I am single. I'm not seeing anybody. So let's get into it. I have my phone here that has some notes a little bit. Well, it really just has the names. So each person will have like a fake name that's significant to something about them that, that I can identify. So the first person is Mr. Biggs. So Mr. Biggs is someone that I did meet in person. He approached me. It was kind of like sneaky, but I didn't know it at first. But I'll reveal why. It was a little sneaky on his part. He approached me. He was very nice. He was a gentleman. He gave me his phone number and we started to text. Just sweet little messages. He would text me good morning before work, and we would just text all day long. And he was very, very generous, and he was very sweet and kind. He would like buy me stuff or give me money for whatever I wanted. And yeah, I really did like him, but one big problem, one huge problem, y'all. Take a drink. That man was married. Girl, that man was married. That's that on that situation. Wasn't going before it started. Next. So the next person is Toy Soldier. So before we get into Toy Soldier, let me give you a little background. So I met Toy Soldier before I moved to Houston. I met him years ago. He's actually really good friends with one of my good friends, and he just was around. So when I first met him, I was instantly attracted to him. I'm like, girl, who is that? Put me on. But she didn't, so I put myself on. That time that I visited here, we hooked up and we started to talk. We were obviously interested in each other. We started to talk, but him being all the way where he was living and I was all the way in New Jersey, it just was like, we always remained cool and kept in touch, but the distance obviously wouldn't allow us to really be how we wanted to be with one another. So that was that. But now, now that I'm here, so before, when I met him, we went on a date and we did all that stuff. So we knew that we liked each other. But now that I'm here, we it's weird. So I've always had like a huge crush on him. He knows it. I've always voiced it. I'm not a shy girl. I'll say it. I'm kind of like aggressive in that way. I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. And I feel like now that like I'm here and like we share the same state, I feel like now that the situation is different, I just don't think that he is into me at all. I don't know, or I don't know. I just don't find him to be interested, so it really didn't work out. So what ended up happening is with him is one day we were chilling and we were just having a regular conversation, and then throughout that conversation I realized that me and him have a lot more in common than I initially thought. So with him, we recently, within the last few months, hung out a few times, and it was fun. It was really cool. But the issue that I had or have with him is that when I see him, he says he's interested whenever like we discuss it. I don't know if he says that because I'm in his face and he doesn't want to say I'm not interested, but he says that he is, and then like we'll hang out or whatever, and then after that he doesn't do anything. Like, he doesn't follow through. He doesn't show any additional interest. Like, he'll text me, send me memes and stuff like that, but other than it doesn't go outside of that. Like, he doesn't take the initiative to say, hey, I want to see you, or like to chill, to hang out. We both have cars. He lives a little ways away, but it's not nothing crazy. So I just feel like at this point now I'm in Houston, like there's no excuse. So, and I feel like I've always been accessible to him. He has my number. I have his number. Um, he know I don't have a problem pulling up. For the most part, he don't have no problem pulling up. He's been on this side of town multiple times. So, yeah, I just feel like he's just not interested. But although we have a lot in common, when it comes to him, like, like when it comes to him taking the initiative, he just doesn't do so. I don't have a problem being the person who takes the initiative and who says, okay, let's do something, but I don't want to be the person who always has to do that. So, and that's the kind of situation that is with the toy soldier. So after that, I'm just like, okay, whatever. If he wants to, like, hang out, he knows my number, he knows how to contact me, and that will be that. So the next person is Bumblebee. So Bumblebee is actually one of my favorites. As you all know, I am attracted to both males and females, and this Bumblebee is a woman. I actually met Bumblebee on Tinder. So we matched each other on Tinder. According to her, I was like taking too long to respond, so she was like debating if she wanted to unmatch me or whatever. But by the time she decided what she wanted to do, I had already responded. We exchanged numbers. We started hanging out. Okay, so Bumblebee and I have been talking for a very long time. We never made it official. We had very strong feelings for each other. We never made it official simply because I didn't want to be in a relationship. When I got here, I was fresh out of one, and I just honestly wasn't interested in that. And I still need some time to get myself, just basically like recalibrate and get my mind right and get my spirit right, get all that stuff off me, dust it all off me. And she said she was okay with it, but I don't know. So Bumblebee, the thing with Bumblebee is that she is very, very, very emotional. So I don't have a problem with emotions, but she's outwardly emotional, and I'm the opposite. So whenever I feel anything, I try to like keep it to myself and assess it because I don't like to put my emotions on other people. Like, my emotions are my responsibility and my feelings are my responsibility. I don't want my emotions and my feelings to affect other people. So I try to sort through them myself. If I need to, reach out to talk to a friend, or if I wanted to talk to Bumblebee, I could. She was accessible in that way, but with her emotions, her negative emotions anyway, would be so extreme that I didn't know what to do with them because I don't operate how she operates. And when she got upset, she had like a really nasty mouth. And I'm a Leo. That type of stuff hurts my feelings. Like, even if you don't mean it or whatever, I just don't think you should be saying nasty stuff to people when you are upset. But I understand things happen, but it's hurtful. And she was very, 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 very dismissive with her words and with her actions. So it kind of like turned me off from her. And I will say that she went through a period where her life's circumstances started to change in a more negative way, like work-related stuff with her family and things like that. And I noticed that as those things changed, her attitude towards everything else, including me, changed too. Like, she wasn't being as gentle, or she wasn't as fun to be around because she was always being so nasty. And I am a person who likes to have fun. I like everything to be light and to just be enjoyable. I don't like being around somebody who kills the mood. And like I said, her emotions and everything is so extreme that she doesn't know how to, like, you ever met somebody who doesn't know how to be upset and could still contain themselves? She doesn't know how to do that. It's like she's either cold or she's super scorching hot, and I don't have time for it. Um, I would like try to talk to her and try to remain calm, but then she would say I wasn't making space for her feelings, and it just became too much. And then she kept saying things like I wasn't making space for her feelings, um, that I wasn't making her a priority, and I just felt like, we're not in a relationship. Your feelings are not my responsibility. I mean, I can be as mindful. I can be mindful and not trying to hurt your feelings and things like that, and being there for you. But when you explode, I don't have to be the one to take your nasty antics because I'm the person that you're romantically involved with. I just didn't think that was fair. So, um, we eventually like parted ways. It was really on her end. She like does this weird thing where she wants to block and unblock you, block and unblock you. And honestly, I'm not with the shit. If you, it's only so many times you can show me you don't want me before I be like, okay, take the L, dub. Same thing with Toy Soldier. If you're not matching my energy, then I'll move around. It's not really a big deal. But with her, it was just she wanted to. Oh, I want to fuck with you. Oh, I know. Oh, I want to. I ain't really got time for that. So this last time where she called herself not speaking to me for whatever reason, I just ran with it. Like, it's okay. I don't text her. She texted me recently about some masks, and that was it. I didn't even answer the message. If you're watching this, Bumblebee, I would say you are a very sweet girl, but your emotions drive the kind of person you are. So if you're having negative emotions or you're not feeling happy or whatever the case may be, if you're feeling sad, then like it just like explodes everywhere, and it just messes up, and you're not a fun person to be around. So if you could work on containing your emotions a little bit and not letting them splatter everywhere and be everybody else's mess to clean up, you could be a really dope person. I think you are a really dope person. Her and I had a whole bunch of comment. Like, we acted like jackasses together. Okay, like we had the most fun dates. We had the most fun ever. We went out of town together. We would always be with one another, but it did take a turn once her attitude started to turn. I started to become around less and less and less because she was just all. Don't nobody want to be around somebody that just want to nag. Like, I mean, just complain. I'm talking about, chill. The girl can ask you to bring the damn moon. You bring it down. She was like, no, not this one. It's not the right color. You need to go put it back, let it marinate again for another day, and then bring it back to me. I don't have time for that. I'm a solution-based person. She likes to complain. This is just my perspective. She might disagree. She likes to complain about stuff. I'm the type of person, you give me a complaint, I will find a solution, we fix it, and then it's done. She don't operate like that. She want to harp on the damn problem and keep carrying on for 80 days, and I ain't got time for it. So I just let that go. When she decided she didn't want to continue, I just let it be what it is. Okay. So the next person is Honey. Okay, so Honey girl, I know you know who you are just because your name is Honey. So Honey was cool, but Honey, I don't know. So I met Honey when I was working at Candytopia. She was one of my coworkers' friends. She came in one day to come to Candytopia. I let her in and I met her that way. When I first seen her, I thought she was really cute. She had hazel eyes. Well, she light skin, had hazel eyes, got like goldish brown hair. She was cute. It sounds like I'm describing myself, right? But no. But yeah, Honey was cute. I saw her and I was like, who is this? So, we didn't exchange numbers that day. She ended up being in town for a couple of days. Her friend and I were cool. and we all ended up meeting together at a few gatherings or whatever. She ended up hitting me up on Instagram asking me for my number because when I had first met her, I wasn't sure if she was like in a girl. She kind of looked tomboyish, but that doesn't mean that somebody likes girls, and I didn't want to assume. So I waited for her to make the next move. The chemistry, when I met her, she was like, we both were kind of like eyeing each other, but we both I could just tell we both weren't sure if the other person liked women. So she hit me up in my DM, we exchanged numbers, and after that, we just started kicking it. She's from Louisiana, so what she would do is she would drive back and forth. Like if she wanted to see me, she would come here. She would just stay the night or whatever, and then she would come see her friends as well. So it kind of like worked out. Whenever she would see them, she would see me. Whenever she would see me, she would see them. So, everything was cool with me and Honey. For a while, she is very spiritual, like I am. So we had a lot in common in that aspect. She enjoyed going to church with me every Sunday, and even if like we didn't go together, I would meet her because she ended up moving here, not with me. She ended up moving with her family here. So what ended up happening is she would come in town, we would hang out, we would go to church on Sundays, and I really enjoyed that. Um, she also liked playing a cute date. She was actually very romantic. She would buy me flowers, um, asked me to be her Valentine. We celebrated Valentine's Day together. We did like a lot of cool things, but I think our temperaments they just clashed. And she did like a lot of stuff that just was disrespectful to my boundaries. Like she just did not respect my boundaries whatsoever. So I just like any other person that I encountered in Houston, I told her that I was not interested in being in a relationship. She kept asking me. She asked me more than once to be in a relationship. Now, she did not badger me or nothing like that. I don't want to make it seem like she just kept begging me to be in a relationship. It wasn't like that. But on more than one occasion, she asked me to be her girlfriend, and I respectfully declined, and we still continue to, see one another. But I did notice that, like, after her asking me a couple of times, like her attitude started to change. I guess it feels like when I said no to her, she thought like, oh, because I was messing with somebody else or whatever the case may be. Mind you, I'm single and I was entertaining other people because I'm allowed to do that, whatever. But I didn't say no to her because of someone else. I said no because I'm not interested in a relationship right now. I just would like to have fun and enjoy someone's company. And if a relationship comes out of it, then I'm okay with that. But I'm not there, and I was not there when she asked me either time. So there was a few things that she did that I didn't like. Number one, she would overstay her welcome a lot. So I'm the type of person that growing up, we didn't really like my siblings and well, I will speak for myself. I didn't never like staying at other people's houses. My house is my home and it's comfortable to my liking, and that means the people in it as well. I'm used to myself, my mom, my sister, and my brother. I don't like extra people. I live alone on purpose. I do not want to cohabitate with anybody. And she would do this thing where, and I didn't mind when she came over, but it would be like, I feel like come over to somebody's house, stay 2 nights, go home, and then you stay a night at home, let me, get my house together, clean up, and do all that, chill, get my peace of mind, and then, maybe in a day or two, you could come back, we could chill, and, the cycle continues. But she didn't ever do that. It was like she would come for like a week at a time, and it's just like, bro, why do I didn't like having to tell her to go home. There's no nice way to tell somebody that it's time for them to go. And any time that we were faced with a situation where I had to tell her, like, okay, I'm ready for you to go home, she would get upset. And it wasn't like I didn't like her or anything like that, but I just want you to go home now. Like, I don't want to see you anymore today. But she didn't, I don't know, she just never took it well when I needed my space. So that was one thing. She was like very sensitive in that way. And she was very intrusive. So I don't like when people ask me, what you doing? Where you at? Oh, what time you come home? What time you gonna do this? Like, what do you want? Like, I know it kind of like sounds like asshole, like I'm being an asshole, but like if you're calling me or texting me, tell me what it is that you want. You don't have to interrogate me to say what it is that you want. Communicate with me. Say, hey, I want to chill with you tonight at 8 o'clock. Are you available? Don't say, hey, what you doing? Where you at? Who you with? I don't. None of that stuff is irrelevant. None of that stuff is relevant. Tell me what it is that you want, and we can make something happen. I would do my best to meet you in the middle. She just never grasped that, and every time I would tell her, stop freaking interrogating me. What do you want? She would get upset. Now, it could have been my tone. It could have just been everybody else just let her question them to damn death. But I don't like that shit. So, it like that would grind my gears, and it would kind of annoy me. So I know my attitude is nasty sometimes. So when she would do all that, I'd be like, "What do you want? Like, do you need something? You're good. What's up? What?" And I guess she didn't like that. So I probably wasn't being the nicest all the time. And then there was one last thing that broke the camel's back. And she had done something in this realm multiple times, but this time I had it. She was intrusive and she was invading my privacy. So one time I caught her like snooping in my computer and she was lying. Here's my thing. If for whatever reason you think you need to go snooping and I ask you why you were doing it, don't tell me, oh, I wasn't doing it when I could. You know that you did it. And you know that I know that you did it because I'm asking you why you did it. Stop what you lying for. If you did something, say, oh, I was looking because I wanted to see who you was talking to, whatever. Stand in it. Own it. You're grown. You did it. You did the dumb shit. Now, what was you looking for? Why did you do that? You could have just asked me whatever you were trying to find out. I would have told you the truth. So I caught her going through my computer. I called her because when I came home, the computer wasn't in the spot that I left it in, but she was in the same spot, and it looked like she just, like, I don't know, like ran to put it down or something. I don't know, but when I opened up my computer, you know how a MacBook is. You can click the X, but if the application is still open, there will be a dot underneath it. And she didn't close out the actual application, and I could see that. So I opened it, and it was on this specific person's messages. And then come to find out weeks later, she's watching this man's story. The same person's messages she was on, she was watching this man's story. Like, what are you looking for? Are you thinking you're going to look on his story one day and see me? Not going to happen, sis. Like, that's my friend. I don't know. Girl, I don't know. But she was just being really crazy and invading my privacy. And it just caused, like, stuff like that made me not like a person. And, like, the fact that she was lying about it after I already caught you, it was just like too much. She ended up eventually admitting to it, but by then I was already like turned off and annoyed. So I ended up blocking her on my phone. And the only thing she could do is see me on social media. Sometimes she'll like DM me, but she don't be talking about nothing. And the next person. The next person is Mr. Officer. So I met Mr. Officer my birthday weekend. My friend Kiara and Morgan both came into town, and he's a police officer. He works security at a restaurant called the Breakfast Club at night on the weekend. So one day we went in there. We were probably coming from like a bar, hookah lounge or something, and he was in there. They wanted to get food. They were eating chicken and waffles. I don't eat meat, so they were eating. I just was sitting there watching them, and I think I got like a smoothie or something from there. And when I walked in, I saw him, and I was just like, he looks good in his uniform, y'all. So I walked in, I was like, hey, handsome. And like, I walked by and I sat down. He was like, hey, beautiful, whatever. And long story short, we ate, they ate, I had my smoothie, and then when I left, he walked up to the car, because he was standing at the door, he walked up to the car, and he asked me for my number. So boom. Y'all, this is a story time. I'm going to give y'all a story time about this specific man, because this nigga's a mess. He was cool. I'm going to make him very brief because I am going to do a story time probably after this video. I probably will film it and let y'all know the tea on him. But he was cool or whatever. He was also very generous, much like it's crazy because it creates a pattern. If y'all see where I'm going here. He was also very generous. If me and him were on the phone and I said, oh, this is cute, I want he would ask me to screenshot it to him. I would send it to him and he would buy it. Which was nice. I'm not Like, I'm not like a gold digger or nothing like that. Like, oh, I need somebody to buy me something. I'm not that girl. I work very hard. Everything that I have, I work for it. But if a man wants to buy me something, I'm gonna let him. Take a sip to that. So it was nice in that manner. Thinking like, did we ever really go on dates? No, we didn't really go on dates. We would just hang out at each other's house. I went to his house once or twice, and we really did. If I'm being honest, we really didn't even see each other that much. Um, the physical attraction to one another was there, but we didn't ever really hang out because he was always at work, or so I thought. So he ended up appearing to me very sneaky, and our friendship ended because I found out he had a girlfriend the entire time that we were talking. So I'm gonna leave that there, and I'll tell y'all all about this. How I found out that I was a side bitch. Bitch, I was somebody's side bitch and I didn't even know. So I'm gonna give y'all the tea on that after this video. I'm gonna make a separate video about Mr. Officer. But with him, I learned, bitch, trust your gut. When you think something fishy is going on, something fishy is going on. Period. So the next person is Daddy Daycare. Okay. So I met Daddy Daycare on Tinder. We matched, we exchanged numbers, we ended up hanging out. Our first date was at a restaurant. It was at like a Mexican restaurant that I never been before. We ate tacos. I had salmon tacos. He had regular tacos and some nachos. I remember y'all because we had fun. We really chopped it up for hours. We sat there and he was cool. The first thing that kind of like that I learned about him that kind of was like, ugh, was that he had a son. His son was 1 year old at the time, and no, his son wasn't even one because his son ended up turning one while we were dating or talking or whatever. He had recently had a kid. His kid was at least 6 months, but it kind of was like when he said it. But I asked him about the situation. He explained that him and the mom were never together. They just were having sex, and she ended up getting pregnant. That they're not romantically into each other. They just have a son, and they're sharing the responsibility and doing their best to co-parent. So I was cool with that. And the entire time that him and I talked, she never like came with no drama, nothing like that. I never met her or anything, but whatever. Daddy Daycare, I named him Daddy Daycare because he was a very hands-on dad, but things kind of, okay, so let me back up. He was very nice, he was sweet, we would go on dates, but he lived kind of far. Now, him and Toy Soldier live far, right? But the difference between him and Toy Soldier is that Toy Soldier sometimes came on this side of town. Daddy Daycare did not, for any reason, want to come down here, which is understandable because he lives far. But how do you think you're going to entertain somebody romantically and it's going to be one-sided on who visits who? And I like my house better than his. Well, I live in a building, but I like my loft better than I like his house. And this was one of the things that was for me. I couldn't shower at his house. Like, he would want me to come stay the night and be all lovey-dovey, but number one, I think that we were not there yet, so I was kind of like about it anyway, like staying the night at his house. But he was cool, whatever. I didn't think he would harm me or anything like that. But then one time I went over his house, and his tub and his shower just was not my kind of clean. So I don't want to stay. Like, even his sink, I did not want to brush my teeth in his sink because you know how when people brush their teeth and you are and like the toothpaste will splatter onto the water knobs. Ooh, they give me the fucking heebie-jeebies thinking about it. He had toothpaste remnants all over his damn sink. That shit was disgusting. And he has a bald head, so I guess he would have to shave his head often. And that shit was just everywhere. I'm just like, ugh, clean this fucking bathroom. Like, ugh. And it's crazy because I'm not like no OCD, like neat freak or nothing like that. But my heart is like, right now, just thinking about it, was disgusting. So I was not comfortable at his house. And I didn't mind him coming over here because when he came to my house, he was regular. Like, he wasn't like a slob or anything like that. but he just did not want to come on this side of town, and that was a problem for me because it was kind of like selfish. He did own his own house and everything like that, beautiful home, but I didn't want to eat over there. And it's not that his kitchen was dirty; it just was not my kind of clean. I could see why he would be able to eat there. That's his home, but I couldn't. I don't want to eat here. It's not. No. So mm, it just wasn't. It wasn't a pleasant experience being in his space. He didn't understand that too. And in his home, he's like a DIY king. He likes to do everything himself. So he's doing his floors over in his house. He knocking down wasp nests and shit while I'm over there. I don't like, bruh. Call me when this is together. I mean, it's sexy to know that you could do all of this stuff because if something happened in the house, you could come fix it. But, sir, it's a lot going on in here. It's a lot of commotion, and I don't like it. It's not. I like things that are together. Like I can't function if my house is a wreck. Like if it looks like a fucking tornado ran through it. So being at his house just gave me a bunch of anxiety. I couldn't sit. Like when you go to a person's house and you have to line the toilet like down. Like okay, I line the toilet anyway, but like I'm talking about lining it all the way down because it his house just was not what it needed to be. So it kind of like turned me off, and I didn't want to go to his house. He didn't really want to come down here, so it ended up not working out. And two, he was very, he was a big person. So if you know anything about me, I'm a chubby chaser. Like Bumblebee was a bigger girl. Like I love all of the roles. I love all that. I get that from my dad. I've never seen my dad date a small woman in my life. All of his women have been big girls. So I love a good squishy lady. But with him, it's different with guys. So my experience with chubby men is that they have small penises. That just hasn't been my experience. Um, with him, he was very big, but everything didn't match his body. So then that was just like, and then I was like scared to do anything with him sexually because if your house not clean, to me that translates that you probably don't have good hygiene. He never stunk or anything like that. But no, I'm lying. One time his butt was stink. Dookie booty ass. Oh, I hope he don't see this video and be mad. But one time I was at his house and it was a day he was knocking down that fucking wasp nest in his backyard. And when we went in the house, after he knocked it down, we went in the house and I kept smelling like this stench. And it was his butt. I said something to him. I was like, "You stink." And and he was like, "No, I don't. I'm sweaty, but I know I don't stink, nothing like that." And he kept like, "Smell." He trying to give me the smell of his underarms, but it wasn't that. It was like a butt, like musty balls, and it smelled like mildew and old cheese. But it was his butt. I'm convinced it was his butt. So I did not. I was not interested in nothing, no intercourse and nothing like that. I didn't even let him kiss me. I'm not that girl. If I see signs of bad hygiene, you ain't touching me. So he was cool, but I couldn't get past his level of cleanliness versus mine. So we just kind of stopped talking. Like I kind of like faded out. But he was so sweet, y'all. I feel bad, but he really wanted a relationship. Like he really like did pursue me, and too I felt bad because I didn't want that, and I felt like I was kind of like leading him on. Because we talked for a while, and like I did enjoy his company, but he wanted something more serious than I was ready to give him. So his house being dirty was an excuse for me to fade out. So that's that on that. Houston is. The next guy, I'm going to dub him the painter because he's a painter. He's an artist, really good one at that. We met on Tinder as well, and he was really cool. He took me on some really fun dates. We both love hookah. We went up to hookah lounges. He's an artist. I love art. I collect art. So we were good in things in common and things that we like to do and enjoying each other's company. And I'm a girl who loves a good debate and who loves a good intellectual conversation, and he is perfect for that. We would have the best conversations, which I really did enjoy. That's one thing I really did enjoy about the painter. Him and I had very similar outlooks on very important things in life. So, with the painter, this situation for me, the situation with the painter for me was very unfortunate because I was really digging this guy. I really did like him. He was very attractive, okay? Very attractive. I'm talking about, I have a thing for dreadlocks. I just recently realized that because Honey, Bumblebee, Unicorn, which is the last and the next person I will be talking about, and the painter all have dreadlocks, and I love them. Um, I think I have a type, but the thing about the painter is that he he was very charming. Um, where things went wrong for us was that let me back up. So he took me around Houston. Anything that I said I didn't do that he thought was cool, he would take me to do, and we would enjoy good food, new scenery for me. Some of his favorite spots. We would we would talk all things art. He would show me the process of him finishing some pieces. We just really just enjoyed each other's company, whether we were with one another or just talking on the phone or whatever. Great conversation. One day, like this is like months into us talking, and out of nowhere, he just disappeared. Just disappeared. Um, and he didn't like ghost me or anything like that, but what he did was I would like if I text him, and it didn't happen often because I'm not the type of if I text you and you do some weird shit or you take hours or something to text me or you don't text back to the next day, it's not very likely that I will contact you again. So what he would do is he would like reach out to me, and then when I would respond to him, he wouldn't say anything. It was like he wanted to tell me something, but he was scared, and that went on for a little while. So then I just eventually just cut the communication. Like he would text me and I wouldn't text him back or whatever. So that was just that. And then one day I was coming back from New Jersey. I remember I was at Newark Airport and I just missed my flight, and I was sitting there aggravated as hell because I literally was this close to making my flight and I missed it. So I got my flight situated. They gave me a new flight, and I was I was sitting there and my phone had rang, and this mind you, it's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and my phone ringing. It's him. He's FaceTiming me. So I'm like, what the hell? So I answered the phone and we chop it up or whatever, very brief. And I'm like, I'm at the airport. I'm a little aggravated. I really don't really want to talk. He was just like, I'm calling to see how you doing. It's been a minute. Da, 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 da. He was like, I need to talk to you. Blah, 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 blah. So I was like, okay, I'll call you when I get home. Eventually, we ended up having a conversation. Come to find out, y'all, this nigga got somebody pregnant. And I guess at some point during our rendezvous, he met some girl out somewhere, and he had sex with her that same night. And then a couple weeks later, she hit him up talking she was pregnant. So when the baby situation came about, he was trying to figure out. They were trying to figure out what they were gonna do, what they had going on. They decided to try to be in a relationship. Hence why him and I were not talking. Why he became distant or whatever. And it just was strange. So it's funny because I actually just seen him. He came over here a few days ago because he hit me up and he was like, man, I need to talk to you. And throughout this whole ordeal with him and the girl, we had talked, I want to say twice, where he kind of was reaching out for not advice, but just to vent and to talk to somebody to get a woman's perspective on some of the things that he was experiencing with the young lady. And I did my best. I was being, a friend, an ear, because this wasn't my boyfriend or nothing like that. So him, the situation he was in didn't hurt my feelings. I was more like appalled at the fact, like, you could have just said whatever you had going on, but he was just like, I didn't know how you would react, blase blase. So, and he was saying too, like, not for nothing, he was more worried about handling his situation, trying to figure out if he wanted to be with somebody that he didn't even know. And they tried it, didn't work out, whatever. So recently he hit me up to tell me about it. We were talking. He came over. We chopped it up. We sat here and just talked. And, everything is copacetic. We're cool. We're not speaking to each other in a romantic way. We're just friends. And I like that. It's cool. But with him, I learned that you can initially be romantically interested in somebody and it not work out, and then have a platonic relationship. Like, those things can happen. I see him being a really good male friend in my life, but we'll just have to see, because his child's mother, yeah. I'm gonna pray for him. Last but not least is Unicorn. So Unicorn is also one of my favorites. Um, he's very handsome, tall, dark, and handsome, and he has dreadlocks. Um, I met him on Tinder. Damn, I met everybody on Tinder. Shout out to Tinder. Ah. But I met him on Tinder. Very handsome. It's crazy because when I seen him on Tinder, I wasn't sure. I was about to swipe left because I'm like, he looked like he fine, but his pictures don't really. Sometimes guys don't know how to take pictures. His pictures weren't really doing him. He had one real good picture, and the other ones was kind of like questionable. So I was like, eh. But nonetheless, I did swipe him right. We exchanged numbers, and we started to hang out. Now, he has a daughter. He disclosed that very early on. It's admirable though that he's a great dad. I don't know. I'm a sucker for people who are great parents. I don't particularly want any kids right now, but it's attractive to me to see a man be a hands-on great dad. Um, Now with him, I think my problem with him was that I was really, really attracted to him physically, and I really wanted to jump his bones. Like, if I'm being honest, I really wanted to just. Ew! He looks so good, y'all. I'm talking about pretty white teeth. He's brown skin. He's chocolatey. His lips is luscious. Like, he got these little chinky eyes, but his eyelashes is dark, like so dark they like jet black, and they long and curly. He got this long hair down his back, y'all. This nigga is boy. But he got this long hair down his back. He be working at or whatever, and he like all my little rows and stuff. He like him a little plump gray tress. I got that from Red a little bit, but yeah, we were really attracted to each other, physically attracted to each other. Okay, so the problem is that he has a daughter, and the arrangements of the days that he has her is kind of weird. I don't have kids, so I don't have to worry about, oh, hey, I got the baby today. I don't really have to do that. And it would be days where, eventually I got the schedule, so we knew what days we could hang out. But at first I didn't know, so at first it was kind of like, ugh. He would always be like, I got my daughter today. So once he let me know what days he got her, we were able to figure out things better. But then the issue came. So, like any human, when he doesn't have his child, he wants to do the things that he wants to do. Whether that be go hang out with his friends, whatever the case may be. But then it's like, I want to see you too. So I didn't trip on him or nothing like that. If he wanted to go, I don't know, fucking run the streets with crackheads. I don't know what the nigga was doing. But I didn't ever trip on him or nothing like that. But my only thing is make time. Don't be sitting on my phone all week long. So I miss you, I miss you, I miss you. Then the day you don't have nothing to do, you go gallivanting around, and then you want to call me 1 o'clock in the morning, tell me something. Oh, you want to see me? No, not gonna happen. So, um, it was a little. It took a little time to get that together. The seeing each other thing, and then two, he would do this weird thing. We actually recently stopped talking. Well, I stopped talking to him the last couple of days. It was yesterday. So today is my first whole day unicorn free because I had had enough. He would sometimes, but not very often, but enough for me to notice that he'll be like, "Oh, I want to see you today," or "I want to see you tomorrow," or he'll plan, "Okay, on this day," whatever the time he would plan something, like, "Okay, we're gonna hang out on this day." It didn't happen, and or he would like do some weird shit and be like, "Okay, we're gonna hang out on this day and we're gonna do this at 5 o'clock," and then fucking 9 o'clock come 9 p.m. and then he's calling me, "Oh, hey, why you ain't hit me up today?" Like, nigga, you said we was doing da 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 da, and not and I'm just gonna leave that there with him. Now, Unicorn would pick up the phone and call me, but his execution trash. I need a man who's going to take initiative, who's going to say, "Hey, girl, I want to see you today. I'm finna pull up, be ready in an hour." I don't want no nigga playing in my face. I'm saying, "Oh, we're gonna hang out on Thursday at 5 o'clock," and then 9 o'clock roll around on Thursday and you waltzing around talking some, "Hey, what you doing? Let's hang out." No, I was ready for you at 5 and you ain't show up. So, bye, bitch. And I'll cut somebody off quick. I don't have time for it. And I'll cut you off and you don't even know it. Ask my ex. So, that was my dating experience in Houston. It's gonna be more people that I'ma encounter because I like people. I like meeting new people. And I'm aware that every person that you meet with romantic intentions is not going to be the end all be all. I'm okay with that, and I am enjoying my singleness. I am enjoying my single life. If you are watching this video and you think you are one of these people, if you feel like you identify with one of them, text me or call me, slide in my DM, and I'll tell you if it's you. You probably right. And if you hear me say something about you and you didn't like it or you would like to discuss it, you would like an open forum, an open dialogue between you and I, we can do that as well. I'm not closed off to anything. The only person that cannot hit me up is Mr. Officer. You're foul. I'm gonna tell y'all about that after this because that nigga's trash. But anybody else, hit me up. But y'all, I'm done with this video. Make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe. Please hit that subscribe button right now. Come on, subscribe. Subscribe. We're trying to run these numbers up. I'm gonna try to keep the videos coming for y'all. Keep y'all entertained because it's boring in here. Quarantine, sitting in the house. But thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video. Cheers, ho.